Okay, hello, you guys. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Sacred Sunday. I just wanted to come back with you guys with another lesson. We're settled in officially. Still have obviously, excuse me, I have a little bit of lint on me, but still have obviously a lot to do and settle in about. But I wanted to officially, since I'm like in where I need to be, I'm more settled. There's pretty much something in place to handle a lot of the things that were occupying my time now. So I figured to come back with something relevant to like my life, but also something that can help you guys. And you guys know on our Sacred Sundays, we try to talk about God, we try to talk about self-reflection, we try to talk about just aligning yourself with your purpose and finding what your purpose is. But I think that a lesson that we've missed that I want to cover with you guys today is making sure you stay firm on who you are, what your beliefs are, and what you want to be. And I think that it's easier said than done. And I have a lot of, you can kind of say like things that I've been thinking about. So this video is going to be a bit like on a stream of consciousness. But I think that you guys are going to take a lot of good gems out of this. So before we get into today's topic, do remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and do like the video. And I think this is God's way of like trying to affirm that one, you are perfect the way you are, but also there's always room for improvement. And if you're in a stage in your life where you want to grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally, financially, I think sometimes for us to sit back and take a good eye on ourselves of like where we are and where we want to be and formulate a plan to bridge that gap. But we're going to get into all of it today. So let's get into today's topic. Okay. So starting with first things first, the reason why I even wanted to do today's topic is because I'm in a new city, a new environment, and it's very different from the area and the people that I grew up around. And you can say this city, without giving away my location, is a city that can influence you in a good way or in a bad way. I think most of the time people have been influenced in a bad way just because of the life of the city and the lifestyle and so on and so forth. And people tend to forget who they are. And sometimes people come out here just because they're looking for something specific. I'm not out here too long. This is like a temporary thing just based off of a business opportunity that I had. But it's still important that you have a moment to like stay grounded within yourself when you're going to be experiencing a new city and new people, because you want to affirm, right? Like wherever room I step in, wherever I am, I still have my beliefs. I still am the woman or the man that I say I am, that I want to be, and that my convictions align with, right? And I found myself during this week, because I just moved on Monday, I found myself during this week kind of like navigating a new space of people, whether if it's like the people that I'm around or whether if it's like just me walking around on a workout and seeing like the different mindsets and the different lifestyles and the different just the different people. And mind you, I grew up in Jersey. There's a pretty diverse group of people in general, ethnically, but I feel like Jersey's a pretty like well established, like it's like a family oriented state, like whether you're in the north or whether you're in the south, regardless of like your political views. I think there's a lot of just community, and there's just a lot of like families walking around. Like you don't see single people living their life all the way about into like the nightlife, right? Or if you go to certain sections, because every state, every city, every country has that, I'm sure. But it's different to see it like all throughout the day. And there's not too much families. Like there's just a whole bunch of young single people, or just people in general, whether they're young or not, trying to uphold a lifestyle. Or sometimes like you hear certain conversations or you're around certain things, and it's just like certain things that you worked on, right? Like for example, like how vulgar you are, like using curse words and stuff like that. You may not want to like do these things, but because you're around them, you may be desensitized to it and even find yourself even doing them. And I had to catch myself. I'm just like, hold up, like this is like I'm not saying I got caught up in lifestyle. I'm not saying that I went out and about, but it's just like because you're around it, you need just to be mindful of it and ground yourself and kind of like correct yourself and let that conviction because God convicts you like when you're about to act out of place, or before you're about to sin, or when you get tempted. There is a feeling inside of you that's like kind of rings the alarm of like, hey, this isn't right. Hey, there's something off, or hey, don't do this, or hey, like this is gonna be presented to you, don't do that, or hey, like you may have said something that was a little bit out of weird, like you wouldn't really say it on a normal basis. Like hear that voice, and heed to it, and don't even just heed to it in the moment. Like let that one moment that you feel that correct you for future moments, and the point of what I'm just trying to gather to loop everything in is that sometimes, when you're in a different environment, when you're in a different place, it tests us to see who you really are. And if you allow your convictions to correct you, that affirms who the person that you think you really are, if you really are that person. And I think that that was something that was shown in me. Like I was just like, hold on, I have to correct myself. Or even like, hey, I just can't, like, I don't want to indulge in this kind of behavior. I don't want to be around these kind of people, kind of thing. I'm just gonna like, go about my business, or blah blah blah, right? Or like you just see different things and you're just like, okay, that's just not for me. It's just important because that affirms, like, if you follow the crowd, then that you're not the person that you say that you are. But if you kind of like step back and be like, you know what, that's just not for me, or that's not the kind of way I want to present myself, or that's just not the kind of mindset that I want to do, it's important to like identify the truth in something, especially if you really do want to change. The second thing I would say though is also like finding balance, because I think that these last few weeks that I've been running around trying to figure things out, and even with settling in, my routine has been a bit off, like my sleep routine, my workout routine. Thankfully, like I still have been doing like my morning prayers and eat, like obviously praying before I eat, and then like ending my night with a prayer, listening and waking up to like certain things. But I don't, because I'm not doing it maybe as long, or maybe because like I'm not getting my work on it as consistent, I feel a little bit off. So sometimes you have to just have that moment as well to reset with yourself. Like, yeah, it's only been a week. It's only been 2 weeks that I've been kind of like squirming around and figuring things out. But it kind of throws you off. Even like with you guys, like I haven't been as consistent as I wanted to be, or as I want to be, and it's throwing me off, right? Like having these moments to like talk to you guys about things that I believe in, things that I think will be beneficial to you. Sharing my journey, sharing my thought processes, my curiosities, all the whole nine, right? I've built a routine around it, and the fact that like I'm swaying away from that routine a little bit, I had to like come back to myself and realize what's important to me, and understanding that you may have new opportunities, but those opportunities should circle around your priorities, not the other way around. Of course, there's going to be times where you have to like, maybe a temporary time, a week or two. I had to move in, I had to move my stuff, pack things from a different state, handle tenancy, contact contractors, review with lawyers, all this other stuff, right? So be flexible with yourself, but not to the point where you're bringing permanence away from your actual routine. Your routine should be permanent and non-negotiable. And the times where you do have to kind of be flexible because of flight times, or because of meeting times, or because of, short deadlines, you've already done so much and you already remain so consistent. Like one day off is not going to kill you, but don't let it get into 2. Don't let it get into 3. And in my case, I let it get into like probably 3 or 4. So, do what you can, but stay firm on who you are and stay firm on your beliefs. And that's what I want to talk to you guys on this Sacred Sunday, is that if you're really serious about aligning your relationship with God, and really serious about who you want to be portrayed as, then you need to have that point sometimes of like checking yourself and being reflective of yourself, and just being like, hey, I could have done better. I could have said this better. I could be more consistent. And there's nothing wrong, right, with just like having that point of conversation with yourself, but it is wrong when you let it go unchecked. So I know I said a little bit of a lot today. I know I went on a stream of consciousness, but I hope you guys got the general gist of what I'm trying to get at, because I think it's very, very, very important. We're all human, and we will all sometimes have opportunities to do better, and God tests us by putting us in new opportunities to see if we will remain consistent. And this is my way of proving to God, like, no, I am here for the long run. I'm not worried about like what other people are saying, especially things that are untrue, or I'm not worried about other people and their influences or how they present themselves. I need to worry about me and ground myself with me again and just restart. So obviously ask for forgiveness when you are tempted and maybe you're not like you didn't overcome temptation, or maybe you didn't sin. Maybe you just, are in an environment where it's like it could lead to that, right? Just take yourself out. Like me, like I was like, okay, I know the environment that I'm around and I just don't need to be around that. I can still, enjoy my life and have great experiences without having certain conversations or certain people enter. I think it's just very important, but I'm not gonna spiel too much longer. But I wanted to come to you guys with something because we are back and we're gonna remain consistent no matter how busy I am. And even though I cannot commit to a schedule just yet, I know I said that I would at the end once I'm all moved in and stuff like that, but there's still certain things I need to tailor out. But I still wanted to come to you guys both. So we'll drop content still every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with our double feature Fridays with our Love Actually, which Love Actually episode will drop at 8 o'clock. On Fridays, so that's something to look forward to. But expect a video at some point in time of the day, whether early morning or late night or somewhere in between. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Again, this was our Sacred Sunday. We have our Self Mastery Monday, which I cannot wait to talk to you guys about because I have a few gems tomorrow that are lined up that I think that will benefit people, especially people starting a new journey in a new location with new people. I want to kind of like piggyback off of this, but actually give you guys actionable steps that you can take, not just from a spiritual perspective, not just from your perspective with God, but the opportunities that you may take from a business aspect or just relationship wise or even self. So stay tuned for that. That's all I have for today, you guys. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Do remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and do like the video, especially if you got a lot of value out of this. And if not, I'll see you in the next one. But that's all I have for today, guys. So bye.